On a very hot summer day in the forest, Elango and Bearie decided it was the perfect day to visit the river for a cool splash. They packed their favorite snacks, juicy berries, crunchy nuts, and a jar of sweet honey from their buzzing bee friends. As they trotted down the forest path, Bearie said with a giggle,
"I'm going to do the biggest splash ever."
Elango nodded, his antlers wobbling with excitement. But when they reached the river, they found only sand and stones where water used to flow.
"Oh no! Where did the water go?"
exclaimed Elango, his eyes wide with surprise. Bearie scratched his head.
"Let's follow the river upstream and find out,"
he suggested, always ready for an adventure. They walked and walked, their little legs carrying them over pebbles and through bushes. They climbed what used to be a majestic waterfall and continued their journey until they reached a giant lake, where they saw a family of beavers. The beavers were swimming and playing, having a great time in a big lake of water they had made by building the dam.
"Excuse us,"
called out Bearie, waving his paw.
"Hello there! Can we talk to you for a moment?"
Elango asked politely. The beavers stopped their play and swam over, curious about their new guests.
"Hi! What brings you here?"
asked the beavers, their whiskers twitching. Elango explained.
"We come from down the river, but there's no water left for us and our friends. It's very hot and we need the water to cool down and drink."
The beavers looked at each other, their noses wrinkling in thought.
"We didn't mean to keep all the water for ourselves,"
one beaver said.
"We just wanted a place to swim."
Bearie, with a hopeful smile, said,
"Maybe we can share the water so everyone is happy. What if we make the dam a little smaller? That way, you can still swim and the water can flow down to the river again."
The beavers nodded, understanding.
"That sounds like a good idea. Let's do it together."
And with that, they all worked side by side. The beavers showed Elango and Bearie how to remove some logs and twigs, slowly letting the water trickle down the river's path. As the water began to flow again, Elango and Bearie clapped their hooves and paws in joy.
"Hooray, the river is back!"
To celebrate, Bearie finally did his big splash, creating ripples of laughter and joy.
"Thank you, beavers! Would you like to have some honey with us? It's very sweet and tasty."
Elango offered, holding out the jar of honey. The beavers were delighted to join, and as they all shared the honey, they made new friendships by the water.
"This is the best day ever,"
Bearie said, his heart full of happiness. And from that day on, the forest was filled with more laughter and splashing, as all the animals learned to share and care for each other, thanks to Elango, Bearie, and their new beaver friends. This adventure by the river taught everyone about kindness, teamwork, and how sharing can make every day a little brighter.